Hi, guys. Welcome back to Crime Time with Jess. I don't know how this mic is sounding right now, but long time no see, huh? So I figured I owe you guys an explanation. As my subscribers, I'll keep it short and sweet. I haven't really made too many bones about my life getting completely derailed. To bring you up to speed from 2020, September of 2022 up until about a month ago, my life has just been literal complete chaos. I lost everything. Um, I've talked in prior streams about my significant other becoming dependent upon drugs. And due to that, I lost our house. I lost my car. I literally lost it all. Um, so you can understand why I did not want to be online going through that. I was dealing with real life things. But now life has finally given me a break. It's evened out. I'm happier. Hi, Foxtrot. And so I want to get back to my passion, which is YouTube and true crime and all of that. I've been working on a video for the last couple of days about the Kingston clan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them or not. Mormonism, the LDS church, is something that always has interested me because I see how insanely problematic that religion in particular is. My belief is that all organized religion is problematic in their own ways, but my opinion is that out of all of the organized religions operating in the United States at this time, Mormonism is the worst, for many different reasons. Um, so, about the Kingston clan, again, I want to make this video as well as I can, document it as well as I can, because the Kingston clan is an offshoot of the LDS church. And they believe in polygamy, as Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith was the founder of the LDS church. He, if I'm going to keep it real, hi, Colleen. And I'm going to keep it real. You guys know I'm going to keep it real. Joseph Smith essentially cheated on his wife and then just gaslighted her. We're going to use modern day terms. Gaslighted the crap out of her and, it made her believe that him, cheating on her is what he was essentially doing, was okay because the more wives a man has, then he can make it into heaven. It worked somehow. I know his wife didn't take kindly to it, but she eventually came around. So, in 1929, the United States government said, hey, if you guys in Utah want to become a state, we're going to put a condition in. The condition is that you cannot practice polygamy. So the LDS church agreed to these terms. They renounced polygamy and they became a state, the state of Utah in the United States. But what happened from that decision from them was a lot of splinter groups that still wanted to practice polygamy. The Kingston clan is one of them. Charles William Kingston basically got into a fight with another guy. Charles William Kingston and this other man both thought that they should be prophets of the LDS church. But that didn't work. They told him, no, you cannot practice polygamy. He fully believed in it. He stopped. He got excommunicated from the LDS church. And 6 years later, after Charles William Kingston was excommunicated, his son Eldon Kingston created the Kingston clan, which is officially known as the Davison. Hold on. That's not correct, and I want to get it correct. I screw up this name every time for some reason. It's the Davis County. Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. I did have this word down somewhere. Yeah, Davison Society of North America. That's not what it's called. That's not what it's called. It's something along the lines of Davis Society Corporation is what their official name is. But to members and people that know, they are literally just called the Kingston Clan, or they're better and more ominously known as the Order. Literally 2 words, the Order. This is an extremely powerful, dangerous polygamy group that is splintered off from the LDS Church. And they're probably, aside from the FLDS, which they have ties to as well, they are the most powerful and the most dangerous. The Kingston Clan has a God complex, I will call it, that they think that their bloodline is the most superior. They believe that their bloodline comes right from Jesus Christ. So therefore, they are very heavy into incest, big into incest. Girls at about 14 or 15 is when they start getting a list. They will receive this from their fathers. And this list consists of men that they are eligible to marry. 9 times out of 10, these girls are given a list of first cousins, brothers, half brothers, where they have the same mother, or they have different mothers, but the same father. So literal half siblings and uncles. That's usually what their list consists of. Now, you might be thinking that's a lot of inbreeding, so what's going on? Exactly. There is a lot of babies born with deformities, Down syndrome. There is said, I haven't confirmed, but there is said to be a literal baby graveyard of deformed babies that didn't make it, to stillborns, things of that nature. So present day, the Kingston Clan is attempting to kind of get in with the FLDS, which they had ties to long ago in the past, but they realized that their inbreeding is causing a lot of problems, birth defects. You can only inbreed so much. So they're trying to extend an olive branch, so to speak, with the FLDS, which is headed up by Warren Jeffs. Warren Jeffs is serving 100 years plus 20 years in jail. He's never getting out. He will die there. But he still runs the FLDS, the entire 10,000 plus member group, from jail. Either way, the Kingston Clan is trying to get in with them, bring some of them in, breed with them, so they're not doing so much inbreeding. But it's absolutely horrific and literally terrifying that this has happened right here in the United States, in the open, because the Kingston Clan operates out of Utah, or Salt Lake City, I'm sorry, and also out of a place called Bountiful, Utah. Interesting name. But they do. And they operate in public. Now, that's not to say that they don't watch their members very closely because they do. Girls are used as commodities and literal breeders. They are married off very young. Typically, they become a first wife if they're lucky, but that's not really lucky, or a third wife, or a 14th wife, or a 7th wife, whatever number they are. And what happens is you have one man with multiple wives. I believe that the prophet of the Kingston clan, as of today, has 34 wives and over 500 children. Really, Colleen? Colleen said, I heard my dad's side is from them, but we are not. That's scary. These people are terrifying, I'm telling you. So, I'm going to put my cigarette out, and then I'm going to keep talking. But this is a crime, and this is why I want to cover, over the next month, my goal is to cover different sects of the LDS religion, and ultimately the LDS religion mainstream. Because this religion is just insanely problematic in so many ways. The brainwashing, what I have personally experienced with people that are Mormon or ex-Mormon, people that have left the church. And I find them the most interesting, the people that have left the church, because they often retain the beliefs of it still. It's like they can't break that young conditioning. And no matter how old they are, they still will practice some of that religion, even if they don't affiliate with it, they've renounced it. They still have those sorts of ways. And it's very interesting to see that. But it just tells you that the indoctrination is so deep that it runs for life. So the Kingston clan is of particular interest to me because of the blatant incest that they practice, and the way that they treat their girls. Not much different from the FLDS, which is the Fundamentalist Latter-day Saints Church. They're also a splinter group off of the main church. The main church, the LDS, renounces polygamy. You're not allowed to practice that if you want to be a member of the LDS church. But you have to remember that the founder of this church practiced polygamy. So these splinter groups of people that to this very day practice polygamy believe that they are doing what their founder wanted them to do. They believe that they are very right in doing this. When Eldon Kingston, who is the son of Charles William Kingston, who was excommunicated again because he believed in polygamy, his son Eldon decided to start the order. And that is literally what they are known as amongst members. So Eldon starts this 6 years after his dad is excommunicated. And Eldon, hang on just a second. Lee with love. Hi, love. How are you? You're a new member again. It's so good to see you guys. It really is. You got to meet Nance. Oh, I have met Nance. Nance has live streamed with me. We're going to get off topic here. But Eldon, despite being a businessman, he really preached that, we're just the everyday man, blah, 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 blah. He wanted to appeal to the lower class, the not so rich. But what he ended up doing is creating a business that flourishes to this day. It's estimated that this group is worth 300 million, but the real amount is probably much higher than that. So sorry, a little bit of an interruption there. I want to smoke a cigarette. You guys know I want to smoke a cigarette, and you know I hate smoking on camera, and I hate to stop here. But I am trying to work on a very professional. I'm stretching my editing skills to the max to put out a quality video for you guys, explaining the Kingston clan, showing what they do to their women and children. Just some bullet points that I'm going to throw out there about this group. It's utterly disgusting because, again, they believe so heavily in incest and keeping their bloodlines pure, blah, blah, blah. This is what they do. They have multiple wives. The order where they live runs everything. So if you are married to a Kingston, you will have as a woman, you will have a job in the order. They pay you shit. They don't pay you a damn thing, okay? You, as the mother, as the woman, are responsible financially for your children. You're responsible for taking care of them, financially taking care of them. No matter that their dad is a Kingston and is worth millions of dollars, you are still responsible for your kids, right? So the order will provide you a job. They will provide you a place to live. Now, it depends on what kind of wife you are, or where you are in the hierarchy as to what type of house you get. If you're the 13th, 14th wife, you're going to be put in some dilapidated, rundown, kind of apartment building looking place with 8 or 9 kids in this tiny little place. Your toilet doesn't run. Your bathtub's messed up. And the kicker is, you still have to pay your husband, the father of all of your children, you got to pay him rent. You have to pay him rent for a house that, or a place that he owns. You still have to pay rent. So there's that. If that doesn't tell you anything about them. If you want to leave this group, because again, at 14 or 15 years old, you are, as a female, you are going to be given a list of suitable males that will be your blood relatives that you are allowed to marry. So some of them try to escape. They try to leave. They run. It's very difficult to do because they have cameras everywhere. They watch you. All of your neighbors are part of the order. They're watching what you're doing. You pull up a moving truck from there and think you're going to pile all your crap in and just leave. That's not happening. Somebody's making a phone call to your mom, to the elders, to whoever, to tell them, tattle on you that you're leaving. Because again, women are commodities for trade and things like that. Yeah, I'll marry my daughter to you, brother, and then you owe me this, is the mentality. So when the girls try to leave, it literally has to be a planned escape where they got it in the middle of the night. They usually do this on Sundays. And the reason they escape on a Sunday is because everybody's in church. So it's the only time that you have that you know everybody's gone. You can, say, oh, I am not feeling well. I'm really, really sick. And everybody goes to church, and that's the time that you can leave. Once you leave, you're out. You're done. There's no coming back. You will be shunned by your family. Now you have to picture this, because if your mother and your siblings and you're out in a remote area, these are the people that you know. They're all that you have. Candace, no, I was not Mormon once. No, I was not. So this is all that you know. When you leave, they're gone. They must shun you because now you're an apostate. Now you don't believe, you're kind of the devil. So your mother, your siblings, who are the closest people to you. Candace, thank you for saying that. I'm going to put that up on the screen. Absolutely sounds like Scientology in a weird way. But you cannot see your family anymore. That you're out in the world with no real education. They don't emphasize education at all. No real job skills other than if you work for the order. But in the outside world, it just really doesn't count. So you're just kind of out on your own with no one to rely on but yourself. Very scary place to be. What happens to the females is they try to leave. When this happens, a lot of them will try to escape and get out of this. What happens to the boys is they become lost boys. Some of you may know that term, some of you may not. What a lost boy means is if you see a strapping young man that's 18, 19 years old, he's young, he's very, he's built up, he's a good looking, lad. The young girls are going to be looking at him clearly. So what the older men in this religion will do sometimes is they will banish them. They will kick them out of the order. You got to go. You have to leave right now. Fuck your mom. Fuck your siblings. Fuck you. Get the fuck out. Why? Because they're competition. They eliminate the competition. They don't want these young girls falling in love with these strapping 18, 19, 20-year-old boys. They need them as their 18th wife. So they eliminate the problem. So these boys become what is known as lost boys. Most of them, a lot of them, turn to drugs because yes, lead with love. Jared Lessig was a lost boy. Yeah, he was. True. A lot of them turn to drugs. They have no one. They are out on the streets. They are not allowed to converse with their families. They're not even allowed to go there, period. So to numb that pain and to kill that pain, they turn to drugs. And it's very, very sad, but that's what happens. This Scientology comment, I've seen where a boy will be kicked out and he'll try to come crawling back to his father and beg, please, I want to see my family. I want to see my mom. I want to see my brothers. I want to see my sister. I want to see my family. And what they'll do is say, okay, you can come back, but you're going to have to pay a fee. And that fee can be anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000. But as long as you pay the fee, you can come home. You can come back. And this is what they do. The order has their own bank. It is not FDIC backed. When you put your money in there, we all know, we all have bank accounts. You can go to your bank and say, hey, how much money is in my bank account? I want to see a bank statement, something. They'll give it to you. That is not the case with the order bank. They're very secretive about how much money you have in your own bank account. They don't like to give you statements. And if you do something deemed wrong, it may be legitimately that you did something wrong, or it could be you did nothing wrong and somebody just doesn't like you. Word travels very fast, and the first thing they do is go for that bank account. It's not federally backed. It's not none of that. You put your money there freely. So the first thing they do is freeze your money. You can't access it. You can go up there a million times, and you're going to be greeted by a very young person who is being told, no, we're not giving them their money. So they just stand there and say, oh, I'm really sorry, but we can't do that right now. The person that prints out the bank statements just isn't here right now. Either way, they will find some way not to give you your money. If you get some of your money, you got lucky. Okay? Because the order looks at it as everything that you have belongs to us. And the reason they look at it like that, according to them, is because you are helping to build the kingdom of God. Right? Yeah, Candace, wow, right? Yes, lead with love. Their children are not allowed to play with toys. Let's talk about that for a second. The FLDS is run by a man named Warren Jeffs. If you're not familiar with him, he is a prolific child molester through and through. He was sexually engaging with 12-year-olds. He had gotten a 15-year-old wife pregnant. He's doing 120 years in jail as we speak, like I said earlier. But once he got into prison, Warren Jeffs, we're getting off the Kingston clan a little bit here. Once he got into prison, he started to take away things from his followers. It's almost like because he was serving jail time, he started making them sort of serve jail time as well. He started taking away the fun things for them. You know, no more dances. We're not doing that. No more toys for kids. Everything being taken away. It's almost like he wanted them to live the way he's living with nothing. I mean, no extras, no happiness, no nothing. As far as Warren Jeff goes, the leader of the FLDS, their members are brainwashed to think that he's going to get out any day. That's what they think. That's what they're told. A lot of them do not know that he has been sentenced to 120 years in jail and he will die there. They just don't know this. Warren Jeff's brothers come to the jail every single week and he sits there on the phone. They believe, Warren Jeff's followers, the FLDS, believe that Warren Jeff is directly spoke to from Jesus himself. Okay? So his brothers will come to the jail and he'll tell them, I want everyone, his voice is so creepy. It's so creepy. I want everyone to stop worrying about worldly things. Get this message out as fast as you can. Blah, blah, blah. His brother will sit there and write down everything he says, and then he'll tell the congregation. And they take his word as literal gospel. But they're deceived. They don't believe that he did anything wrong. They don't believe that he molested very young girls. They just don't believe it. And they believe that the government's just coming after him because he has different views. Not true. But this is what they're taught. And this is what they believe. They have no reason to believe anything else. They are not exposed to the internet. They're not exposed to outside people. They don't have the luxury of grabbing their phone. And let me Google what the hell this guy did. Let me just Google what this guy did. They don't have that luxury. So what they're told is what they believe. Smoking a cigarette. Sorry. Kind of came to the conclusion that I've always tried to be respectful and not smoke on cam and blah, 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 blah. But it gets really annoying constantly shutting off my cam when I want to smoke a cigarette. And when I start talking about something that I'm passionate about, I smoke more. Because I'm smoking. Just think of me as Dennis Leary. Okay, let's just go there. I'm Dennis Leary of the true crime world. Or at least I wish I was. But either way. Yeah, lead with love. Even when the proof is there, they will not listen. They won't. And, you know, I don't want to be too bombarding these people. I don't. You're smoking, why can't I? I don't know. My mother told me that it was just literally unclassy on a live stream. I happen to agree with her. So I always try not to do that. But I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? Being on YouTube is insane. I'm going to go off the rails here for a second because no matter what the hell you do, people are going to criticize you. You could be the most perfect YouTuber and never make a single mistake, and somebody's going to find a problem with how you talk or how you look or what you're saying. It's just you can't please all the people all the time. Bob Marley, okay? So the lighter works, Colleen. But, we're going to get back to the Mormonism shit. But being that I have you guys here and I've missed the shit out of all of you, I have so missed this, you guys. I have so needed you guys, and I've avoided it because I needed to get my life back on track, which I have. So we're in my garage right now. That's where we're sitting. My new garage, not my old one. But can I just ask quickly, I don't want to stay on the subject too long. I seen Burnt Toast. If you guys know who Burnt Toast is, she covers Bullhorn Betty often. And another person, Shani, I think her name is Shani, Shanty, something like that. Anyway, Burnt Toast, I read this community post from her on YouTube that there's a whole lawsuit at this moment between Queen Bee and Bullhorn Betty. Can I just say really freaking quickly, if you get yourself into lawsuit territory, I don't care if you're right or wrong, please, I think you should just exit stage left from YouTube. And this is why I've always refused to go into the drama of YouTube. If you want to talk shit about me, do it. I don't care. You won't be the first. You probably won't be the last. Who cares? Talk it. Make a whole live stream about me. I don't care. But when you start taking it real life into court and all this kind of thing, YouTube might not be for you. It just might not be. Something to think about. It's just that those are my thoughts. A penny for my thoughts. There's a penny for my thoughts. Lee would love. I love them. I'm so fascinated with the subject for several months. I had no clue you were on the same mission. I have been fascinated with Mormonism for a very long time. And so many times, Lee would love, I have attempted, sorry. I have attempted to articulate the problems within the Mormon church. And there's so much, my brain goes into overload and all these words start spilling out. And I want to streamline it into just facts. That's why I'm making the video that I'm making. That's why I've been working on this. Because I just want straight facts. I want it from their mouths. I want them to tell it. And I want to edit, which I hate editing, but I feel like it's necessary. I think even mainstream Mormons are very problematic. Am I calling them bad people? No. But I think the most dangerous thing about Mormonism is they come across as the nicest people ever. It's so deceiving. But behind closed doors, there is rampant physical abuse, rampant sexual abuse. And again, the treatment of the women and children is literally horrendous. Just completely horrendous. Lulu Gomez, hi, how are you? Many creators on YouTube smoke more than cigarettes on camera. I know. I just try to be classy sometimes, Lulu. You know. But screw it. I'm not even in the mood for it today. I just want to talk to you guys. Betty suing Queen Bee. Very frivolous, in my opinion. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I have watched both of these women. Take this as you will. If you're a part of the Beehive, more power to you. I personally have never seen Queen Bee on camera. I don't know that she's a woman. No offense, Queen Bee. I thought you were a man when I first heard her. She says she's a woman. I don't have any proof to say otherwise, so I guess she is. But here's how I think Betty Bullhorn should be handled. And this is just my opinion as well. Just let her be. Let her be. If you don't like her channel or whatever she does, I'm not friends with her. I don't speak with this person. I'm not even advocating for her. This is just common sense to me. If you don't like her, just don't watch her. I feel like that's just simple. And same thing for Queen Bee. If you don't like her, just don't watch her. But to be constantly watching each other and, oh my God, you said this about me, I'm going to sue you now, and we're going to court, and I got to pay all these lawyer fees. Why are you on YouTube? Why? For what? For what reason? To cost yourself money? You're not doing what you're passionate about. You're fighting with other people, unless that is what you're actually passionate about. Not me. So Lulu is a Hive member. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up your comment. She's not. I'm not a Hive member. I go everywhere. Yes, fly. Fly, Lulu. Fly, spread your wings. That's another thing. I'm never going to tell you, don't go watch this person. Don't watch that person. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to do that. Watch whoever the hell you want. If I don't like them, so you might. If you want to give your money to them, go ahead. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not clocking your finances. I'm not. If these people are grifting, as they call it, and you want to be a part of that, be a part of it. I'm not going to tell you not to. It's your money. You know what I mean? So, Colleen, YouTube, everyone going at each other is crazy. Yeah, you know me, Colleen. I won't do it. I just refuse to do it. It's completely asinine to me. If you're going to talk about true crime, which I do believe to be fair, I don't think that Queen Bee's channel is solely true crime. I think she dibbles and dabbles. It's more of a drama channel, I believe. And then Bullhorn Betty wants to be a crime channel. So, yeah. But if I was Betty, again, just my opinion. If I was Betty, I would give two shits what Queen Bee's saying. Literally, just two shits. Why would I care? If your content's me, you're welcome. I'm just gonna move on with what I'm doing. But the more you feed into something, the worse it gets. So seeing that these two are actually going to court just made me look at my screen in disgust for a second, and then just kind of just shake my head like you fools. You're literally, you guys are fools. I don't know what else to say. It's completely foolish. And there's this whole thing, court's this date for them. I don't care. I don't care when court is for you. You have managed to somehow get yourself in a court case over your YouTube channel. Please don't ask for my sympathy. You won't receive it. And again, I don't care. I think that's stupid. Stupidity at its finest, to be honest. Candace saying, some creators paying subs to be jerks to their enemies. Yes, they're fucking weird. Okay? I'm just telling you, I am not into any of that bullshit. My dream coming to YouTube was, I've always been into true crime since I was a child, literally. My mother was into it. That's how I got into it. And so at 12, I'm consuming true crime books. But I was mature enough to handle it, and it's kind of been a thing for me my entire life. I'm 42 at this point. I still have a fascination with true crime, understanding the human mind, et cetera, et cetera. So when I started my YouTube channel, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about true crime. Not this creator, that creator, this one's suing this one's doing this one's traveling to a different state to beat this one up. Just insane. I get the appeal of drama. People do love drama, especially women. We are the demographic that watches reality TV more than any other demographic. So clearly we like a little bit of the drama aspect. But after a while, it just gets to a point where you're like, Jesus, just leave each other alone. Christ's sake, Fighting is very profitable. Yeah, I could have started a couple fights with a couple YouTubers and probably made, got a lot of views and made money from it and had people on my side and all this kind of thing. It's just not what I came here for. It's just not. I've always stuck to my convictions that I like true crime. If I wanted to come on here and fight with people, then I would be somebody like Burnt Toast, who would review people, but essentially all you're doing is just ripping every single word that they utter apart. And then when that person gets really pissed off and starts coming after you and doing unsavory things, you kind of cry victim about it. All of these kinds of channels are just whatever, dude. I watch them when I'm extremely bored. Extremely bored. And then I'm like, it's a little bit of a razzle dazzle. And then I move on from it because I'm just not doing that, basically. Lulu, it's a crazy lawsuit. Now let me put this up. Real quick. It's a crazy lawsuit. Betty is suing for $150,000 for YouTube drama. I have some thoughts on that. Okay. Absolutely 100% YouTube drama. But when you start saying real life things about a person, it can be damaging to their channel. I haven't watched anything that Bullhorn Betty has said about this. None of her videos. I just haven't watched them about what she has had to say about this. What I'm going to assume is that she's looking at this as, you're hurting my channel. You're talking a lot of shit and costing me subscribers and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to sue for that. That's what I'm going to assume. I don't know if I'm right or wrong about that, but I'm just going to assume that. What does Candace say? Well, thank you, Lulu. They are true crime becoming truly criminal. Yeah, it's weird. Like, they should just cover themselves. You know what I mean? Just cover your own court case. I'll watch that. That would be entertaining to me. I'm going to watch you cover your own damn true crime that you committed. Lulu, you are one of my favorites when you covered Dylan Round's case. Well, I really appreciate that. I actually relocated. For those of you that have watched me for a long time, I was born and raised in Delaware. I've recently moved to Oklahoma, so I'm a lot closer to Utah. It has absolutely been a thought on my mind to pop into Montello and say hi to the Wadsworth clan and go out and see if I'm allowed, which I don't know if we're quite allowed. I'm not sure about that. As close as I can without being in the wrong. Just even for my own self, just seeing where Dylan's trailer was, seeing in person, the bar in Montello, those types of things. It just gives me a better perspective. It's like Summer Wells, when I went down to Tennessee, and I've been there twice now, to the watering hole in the different places that she was last seen at. It just gave me a much better perspective and feeling about stuff. And I've always wanted to do that with Dylan's case, just to see what I could pick up on, or my overall feeling about it, and I would film it, just to show you guys whatever I seen. But I don't know, that's probably in a little bit of a distant future, meaning after the first of the year. But I was definitely thinking about that, of heading out there, just seeing this case that I've stressed about for a year and a half at this point. So, Lulu, last I heard, Kurt was on the run. I've heard the same. I want to fuse it. Yep, I've heard the same. I heard some guys were after him, and he booked it to California. I did, interestingly, Taylina, reached out to me a couple weeks ago, I believe, and she was asking me if I knew if Black Dove was dead. And I told her, I said, oh my God, I don't know. I said, I haven't talked to Dove in months and months and months. I hope that that's not true. And she said that was sort of the rumor that was going around. Thank you, Colleen. I am happier. It's been a very long year. Holy Christ. I'm just looking forward to Christmas, honestly. This is going to be the highlight of my year. This year has been easily the worst year of my entire life. And I've been through some shit. And this is the worst year. But again, I don't want to keep saying that because the past month has been very good. I have stabled out. I have a house now. I have all the things that I need back into my normal self. So yeah, I was like, it's time to go back on YouTube. That this is my passion. No matter what job I'm working, this is always going to be a passion for me. So I wanted to come back on. I didn't really plan on spending this much time talking about myself and yada, yada, yada. I really wanted to talk about Mormonism and just the overall of it. We can point to a lot of cases with Mormonism. Okay. Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, the most recent one. Let's talk about that for a minute. Major ties to Mormonism, clearly, which is the Ruby Franke saga, we'll call it, and the Jodi Hildebrandt saga. This story that is happening right now, I don't know if you guys are aware of it. I'm going to assume you guys are because you guys typically watch a lot of true crime. If you're not, I'll just give a really brief rundown. Ruby Franke was a YouTuber. She had a channel called 8 Passengers. It was a family channel. She documented her kids, her life, very benign things, eating dinner, going here, doing this, just typical things that a family would do. They are Mormon, her and her husband. Jodi Hildebrandt comes into the picture. She is a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist. One or the other. Forgive me for that, but one or the other. She is recommended by the Latter-day Saints Church itself. Completely nuts what is coming out about this woman. But Ruby Franke got hooked up with Jodi. Why do I keep calling her Julie? Jodi Hildebrandt. And as of this very moment, they're both sitting in jail because Ruby's children, her 12-year-old son, escaped from Jodi Hildebrandt's house and went to a neighbor's house. And he had duct tape around his feet, around his ankles. He was emaciated. He needed food. He needed water. Come to find out, he was left there, him and his 10-year-old sister, both of them tied up, bound, not able to leave. He escaped. He was under the impression that Jodi Hildebrandt was still in the home. She wasn't. She was with Ruby Franke, their mother, about 4 hours away from them. So this 10 and 12-year-old, this 10-year-old girl and 12-year-old boy were left alone at this house, duct taped, they're starving, blah, blah, blah. Thank God for the 12-year-old that broke out, went to the neighbors, asked them to call the police. If you have not heard that 911 tape yet, please listen to it. Warning, it is heartbreaking. The man that made the 911 call does start to cry while he's talking to the 911 operator. And that's where I broke. When he started crying, I started crying. It was really bad when he was describing, he couldn't even get the word torture. He was like, it looks like he's been, it appears that he's been, and he just can't bring himself to say the word like tortured or beaten or whatever. But that's what happened. So, but this is all Mormonism. This recent case with Ruby Frank, crazy heavy ties to the main Mormon church, not even an offset, not the Kingstons, not the FLDS, the mainstream LDS church. Jody Hildebrandt was a recommended therapist from the bishops of this church. They were sending her out to people to help. And this woman, in my opinion, is a literal psychopath. Do I have the credentials to brand her this? No. So I'm going to say allegedly, I believe that she's a freaking psychopath, okay? So the crazy bitch doesn't sue me. But either way, that's what I think she is. Give me just one sec. I'm just going to speak really freely. I don't think it's in my cards that I'm going to end up like on a, Banfield or anything. So I might as well just be myself. Either way, this Jody Hildebrandt, long history of coming in between families. She's literally what you would call a family killer. I want to say this quickly about the whole Ruby Frank saga that is going on right now. I see the father getting a lot of hate. Where were you? Who just leaves their kids like this? You should have gotten them kids, blah, blah. I think what people are missing is that this is not the first family that Judy has done this to, where she separates the husband and the wife. She makes the husband go somewhere else. And then she tells him, it's not safe for you to contact your kids. It's not safe for you to contact your wife. You stay away. And the overall power is because most people would say, screw that. If a therapist said that to me, I'm coming for my kids, or I'm going to do something about it. The problem is that this woman is backed by the LDS church. So if this husband was to stand up to her, which other people have attempted to, and they have lost, okay? So if he would have done that, Jody Hildebrandt in the past has literally accused men. Oh, okay. You don't want to listen to what I'm saying? You don't want to stay away? I'm going to tell the church that you molested your daughter. She's done this to innocent people, destroyed their lives. So this husband of Ruby Frank, it's absolutely terrible, but it was probably best that he did stay away instead of being accused of rape of his children and all of these things. And that's just my thought on it, but leave with love. Oh my goodness, I was track of, wait, what? Hold on. Oh my goodness, I lost track of you big time. Congrats on Me Too and Montello. Leave with love. If you want to do that, we can make that happen. We will show up at the bar, and hopefully Tay's behind the bar or somebody's behind the bar, and we'll have ourselves a drink. To Dylan. So, Lulu, Judy is a dangerous woman. I absolutely agree. Have you heard the interview from, I think it was Jody's niece? Yes, I did. Yes, I watched that. Yep. And the alluding to Judy possibly being gay, lesbian, whatever. With Dylan's case, I was really reluctant to go down that road with this case, not so much. Because hearing about Jodi's upbringing makes a lot of sense as to why she does what she does today. Men are not her favorite people by any stretch of the imagination. I really, if there becomes proof that her and Ruby Frankie are lovers, it would not surprise me. So, but this story is just one of many that comes straight from the Mormonism religion, the LDS. There's so many of them. And especially Ruby Frank's story, she gives off major Lori Vallow vibes. I got to be honest with you guys, when I first started like paying attention to what was going on with this woman, it freaked me out because I was like, oh my God. Like I watched the Lori Vallow case from the very beginning. And all I could think of was, holy shit, this woman is giving me crazy Lori Vallow vibes. And I'm actually so glad that her son, the 12-year-old, escaped and these kids are alive. Because I feel like I could easily see them ending up in the same fashion that Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow ended up in. And this is the problem with Mormonism. You know, the main church likes to say things like, oh yeah, we're just normal. You know, if you want to be gay, you can be gay. That's fine. There's no problem with that. You can be gay. You just can't act on it. You can be gay all day long. You can tell everybody you're gay. We'll accept you. But if you try to go and start a relationship with the same sex that you might find attractive or fall in love with, that's a no. You will be excommunicated. So they put these people in a really precarious position. You know, it's like, yeah, you can be yourself. And as long as you don't act on your sexual urges, you can still be in the church, you can still be in the family, you can still be in the community. But the second that you pick up a boyfriend or a girlfriend of the same sex, you're out. You're done. So there's just so many things with mainstream Mormonism that the sects that have broke off, the splinter groups, the Kingston Clan, the FLDS, their beliefs come straight from the main church. I've seen practicing Mormons say things like, we would never do something like that, or, oh my God, that's not our beliefs. And I'm like, yeah, but it is though. Even mainstream Mormons, I've talked about this before. Their ultimate goal is to become exalted. What does exalted mean? Exalted means to become your own God. This is what their goal is. Not meeting Jesus and stuff. They want to become their own God on their own damn planet. That is literally a thing. And the first step to getting to becoming exalted is you have to get married. You have to have a wife. You have to have kids. You have to have all that kind of stuff. This is mainstream Mormonism. This isn't even the crazier groups. This is just mainstream. And so you will often see mainstream Mormons marry very young because the women got to keep pure. You can't be horned up and stuff. You know, you don't get to sow those wild oats. Got to keep it pure for the hubby. So they marry pretty young, and the courtships are fairly short compared to other religions, other people. The courtship is usually pretty darn short. So I laugh when mainstream Mormons are like, oh my God, I can't believe Lori Vallow did that. What was she thinking? She's crazy. And I'm thinking, what? She went to your church her whole damn life. Where do you think she got these beliefs? She just went a little nuttier with them. But visions and dreams and becoming your own God, this is a part of you guys' religion. So I don't know why you're pearl clutching Lori Vallow, because you guys believe in all this weird ass shit too. You know what I mean? It's not like thank God they're all not out murdering children, but you can't act like this is a far leap from mainstream LDS to where Lori Vallow got. It's not. It's not a big leap to that. Not at all. When you look at what the beliefs are in the main LDS church and what Lori and Chad were practicing, yes, there are some weird way out there things, but everything basically that they were doing was rooted in mainstream Mormonism. So in fact, I've had this wild idea. I'm always full of ideas and things. I just saw the other day, I was taking Aubrey to school, and I'm backing the car out, and I see these two Mormon guys walking by, right? And they're young. They couldn't be any more than 19, 20 years old. And they got their suits, they got their white shirts on. No suit jackets today. It's hot. But they have their white shirts on, their ties and stuff. And I was like, hey, I said the Mormons. And they go, hey. But if I see them walking by again, I am absolutely pulling them in here. I absolutely want to talk to them. I would love if they would go on a live stream with me and we could just talk about their beliefs and things like that. And I'm not gonna, freak out on them or tell them they're wrong, even though I definitely believe that they're wrong. But you have a right to believe in what you want to believe in. So I would just literally be open to hearing them say it in their own words, and then we can dissect it later or something. But leave with love. What does she say? Yes. Oh, Lulu, let's talk about this first, please. The allegations Ruby is making against her son is scary and seems to be a pattern with Jody. Yes. This is not the first time that Jody Hildebrandt has made these type of allegations against people. So the fact that Ruby herself is making these allegations against her son, absolutely sickening. That he molested his siblings and 20 other people. What made me sick to my stomach was that now this kid is being isolated from his siblings, his family, and being put in a different, they got to keep him away. I'm wondering, the judge in this case, and I don't know the judge's name in Ruby Frank's case, but the judge in this case, I'm going to assume he's just following state law because that is his job, and just for precaution, separating that child from the other children in case what this psychopath is saying happens to be true, which I think all of us that have been following this case know it's not true. You can just tell that these women are completely out of their damn mind. Again, major Lori Vallow vibes, okay? But I think it's sickening. I was just earlier watching this man that had came out and said that Jody got really friendly. She was recommended by a bishop of the LDS church to him and his wife. They were having normal couple disputes, communication problems, etc., etc. Nothing major for their marriage to implode or anything, but they were having some issues. The bishop recommends Jody Hildebrandt. She gained their trust. This is his words. She gained their trust. And then she ultimately had the wife kick the husband out of the house. When he attempted to fight back, the wife came up with, "You've been molesting our daughter." And what he went on to say in this interview was that he suddenly found himself without a family, without a wife, not being able to see his children, and then also being accused of being a child molester, to which he had to defend himself to his community, his friends, his family, and none of it was true. So watching Jodi Hildebrandt use her same game plays that she's seemingly has used against a lot of people, and Ruby Frank going along with this against her own child, absolutely disgusting. I hope they both spend a lot of years behind bars, because I personally think they're both, just like Lori Vallow, extreme dangers to society. If you can duct tape a kid's feet and hands and leave them in a house bound up, and you're 4 hours away, I just feel like you're pretty much capable of anything, and I don't trust you around anyone, and I think you should just be caged up like the animal that you behave as. That's my thoughts. So, lead with love. What can we expect from a church whose book was written by a guy who used a stone in his head and a damn I should just do a whole stream on Joseph Smith, the founder of the LDS Church. It's absolutely absurd. What's offensive to me? I'm going to throw the O word out there. I'm offended, you guys. I'm so offended. But what is offensive to me is, I don't know if you guys realize this or not, or know this or not, but a lot of other countries see Mormonism as American religion. That is the religion that represents us because it was born here in the United States. Catholicism wasn't, Christianity wasn't, Islam was not, but Mormonism is American bred, and that's what it is. Highly offensive to me. Please don't associate me with this insane religion where Joseph Smith was literally a petty criminal, did time in jail, cheated on his darn wife, convinced her that God told him that he had to take extra wives to get into heaven. He just, he had to do that. And she came around to that. It's just completely insane. It's complete bullshit is what it is. But it's so fascinating to me how people, because here's how I see the Mormon people, me, myself, very kind. They're very nice people. They come off as very helpful and very kind, very nice. And they are. I that's typically their nature. And something else that I've always noticed about Mormons is they tend to have very good vocabularies. They use words that are not typically heard or mainstream words, but they're intelligent words. And I see a lot of them do that, and I admire them for that. I love a good vocabulary. I love a person that can speak well. And they a lot of them are like that. They tend to use these bigger words that I feel like other people would be like, huh? But I understand what they mean, and I like that they do that. But what I've noticed about them is that they put on these smiles for the world, and they're fake. Because what's going on behind closed doors is literally horrific. Crazy sexual assault, crazy physical assault, crazy verbal assaults. It's very common. It's very common to be molested by your cousin, your brother, your stepdad. Well, if you have a stepdad, your uncle. It's just very common, and it's very sad. And often, nothing is really done about this. They don't, especially if you're in the offset. If you're in the polygamous groups, they believe in incest, so they're definitely not telling anyone. But let me read another comment. South Park did a great parody of Joseph Smith. Yes, they did. I feel like their parody on that and Scientology just kind of blew it out of the water. They did a great job. Colleen, that's why they hate us. Alley Cat, hi, ma'am. How are you? Good morning. Crime Time with Jess. Hi. Yes, hi. The Book of Mormon. It's fantastic. Oh, I bet it is. Have you read it, Allie? Read the Book of Mormon? I've seen it twice. So smart and so funny. I've actually read some things from the Book of Mormon. In past shows, a long time ago, I've talked about my Mormon experience when I was younger, and had these two Mormons coming over, and they were playing video games with me and watching Jerry Springer. But they gave me a Mormon book, and I was like, all right, let me just thumb through this and see what this is about. I like to give everything a chance. So I started thumbing through it. I don't even think I got past like page 4 until I was like, this is complete bullshit. Goodbye. Because it was just fantastical bullshit, basically. Oh, really? The Broadway musical. Well, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Lee would love. Young girls in the mainstream church still have to describe their sins in detail to a room of men. Did you climax is one of the questions. Yeah. How sickening is that? If you're 14 years old and you're given a list, an actual list of who, and I'm talking about the Kingston clan here, a list of who you are allowed to marry. And on that list is your 45-year-old uncle who already has 16 wives, or your brother, your half brother. You can be his first wife, but it's your brother. It's so disgusting that it's hard to articulate the words of how wrong and gross this is. And kudos to the girls that actually escape and get out of it and don't live that life and don't subject their children to that life. A lot of them are physically abused. And when I say physically abused, I mean if you mess up, if you do something wrong, and again, there's different definitions of wrong. You might not have done a damn thing, but somebody's deemed you doing something wrong. Your dad that fornicated with your mother, but that's never around because he has multiple other wives. So he's not in the home. You've been raised by your mother and your siblings, but this dad of yours is going to come around and he's going to drag you to an outbuilding, up a mountain, a hill, rather, and literally, if you're a female, he is going to beat the daylights out of you. And I'm talking about broken noses. I am talking about missing teeth. I am talking about a literal beating. And that's what happens to them. So, and another thing that I've noticed about the polygamous groups is the children are very, very close to the mothers because it's really the only parent that they have. They don't really see. They often call the dad by their first name, and there's a reason for that as well. If you are the first wife of a polygamous husband, your children, because you're legally married to him, your children will be allowed to call him dad or daddy. But every wife after that, and whatever children every wife after that produces, they are not allowed to call their dad dad. They must call him by his first name. They attempt to hide the polygamy. So they don't want this kid over here by this woman calling me daddy out in public. That's going to turn heads. So imagine growing up, you know who your father is, but you're not allowed to call him dad at all. You must call him by his first name. He's not around. He might come by your mom's house. And well, they often show up when it's time to get the wife pregnant. they don't really hang around too much longer. They get them pregnant. They will come back again when you're birthing their child. They'll be there for that, and then they're gone. You may see them once a month. You may see them once every 2 weeks. You may see them once every 6 months. It's whatever they decide. But there is no stable father figure. It is the mother. The mother will play all roles. Mother, father, financial provider, all of that. So you often see the kids in polygamous families very close to their mothers who have really done everything for them, and extremely close to their siblings. And that's really what they use. If you try to leave, that's the carrot that they dangle in front of you. Do you want to see your mom again? You want to see your brothers and sisters that you're so close to? You got to come back. If you don't come back, you're not going to see them. And that's really what it is. So it's such emotional abuse that they're subjected to this, and it's really, really sad that these families are broken up over this asinine religion. And I don't even feel comfortable calling it a religion. To me, it's a cult, through and through. Allie. I know, right, Colleen? F that, right? Allie. Jess, you missed the part where Trey Parker and Matt Stone, South Park's creators. I know they are. From Colorado, actually, I know. And my stepdad taught them in high school. Really? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Created Broadway musical called The Book of Mormon. That is, wow, Al. That's really cool. That's really cool that your stepdad taught. Wow. You know what? Kudos to them, because they have absolutely shown light on that kind of stuff. And their Scientology episode was just brilliant. Lee would love, you can do an entire channel on this and you'll never run out of interesting and relevant content. You wouldn't. You honestly wouldn't. There are so many horrific true crime cases that come straight out of the LDS Church, their members. It would be hard to run out of content. It honestly would. And it is a subject that has always interested me because, to be quite frank, I think they're crazy. Okay. But I'm trying to be respectful because I understand that these people are indoctrinated. They are literally brainwashed from birth. And so I try to be understanding of that when you know nothing else. And that's all that you know. That is what you believe. And it takes a lot of undoing for them to come to to reality. So I do want to be respectful, because ultimately I feel compassion towards them. I feel sorry for them. It's awful, really, what they're subjected to. Alley Cats. Also enjoyed the real story of the Mormon Church video on YouTube by Johnny Harris. Independent journalists making videos that help you better understand the world, and former Mormon from 1 month ago. Send me that link in Discord, Allie. I would like to watch that, if you don't mind. He got it real. It was quite good. Got 2 million views. Wow, good for him. Jess, I've missed your face, lady. How have you been? I'm so happy to see you guys. Can I just say that? I really didn't know what was going to happen. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go live. I'm happier, There's still definitely some things in my life that need to improve. But I'm a lot happier these days, guys, for sure. A whole lot happier. So, but hey, hang on. Okay. Carrie, how are you, Bill? What did I just say? How are you, Bill? I meant how are you, Bill? Kier, can I ask you a question? Whatever happened to oh my gosh. I can picture her profile picture right in my head right now. Her and her husband. I don't know why her name is escaping me. I know exactly who I'm talking about. But what happened with her? Is she still on? She was your friend, Care. She was my friend. I consider her a friend as well. But what is she still on? J. Marie. Jesus, I knew it would come to me. But is yes, J. Marie. Is she still on YouTube or how is she? How are things? Is like as far as YouTube goes, I don't. I'm not asking about her personal life. I think that's a little. Oh, is she? Okay. I wasn't sure. Allie, I missed your brains and silliness. I miss you too, girl. And your face too, of course. I've missed you guys. I have missed live streaming. There's so many things. You guys, on my downtime, I still watch true crime religiously. There's been several cases that I'm like, I was chomping at the bit. Oh, I want to go live. Oh, I want to talk about this so bad, and it wasn't a good time in my real life, and I was just like, no, I'll just watch on the sidelines for now. But YouTube just got so crazy. It does. It does. I was talking about that earlier, Care. What's his name? What was his name? Salty Pancakes. Attempted to do. He dedicated a live stream to me apparently, but I think I don't even know. I still to this day have never watched it. I don't even know if the guy has a channel anymore. I have no idea what the frick's going on with that guy. But yeah, he tried to do a whole live stream on me. Do you know what I did? Nothing. I didn't watch it. I didn't give a shit. I did what I wanted to do that night and didn't give it a whole lot of thought. And I feel like other YouTubers would do well to do the same. Even if you disagree with them. And there's plenty of YouTubers where I'm like, no, I don't think like you do, or I have a different opinion. I'm not going to attack them. For what? It's so stupid. Oh, Carrie, she's still around. We talk all the time. Good. Tell her I said hi, Care. Just tell her I said hi and that I was asking for her. Or asking about her, if she's okay. Lee would love. I'm so excited I've quit watching true crime and watch excommunicated John DeLynn at least 1,000 hours so far. I love John DeLynn. Here's what I don't love about John DeLynn, though. Lee would love. Like, he'll have guests on his show, and they'll say something kind of like, prolific, like, God, this terrible thing happened. And John DeLynn will just be like, yeah. He doesn't say anything, dude. And I'm like, bro, have a real reaction to this, please. This person just told you this and this and this, and you're just like, yeah. But I do love him. I watch him myself. That's my only little critique, if you will. Lulu. Salty Jim and Doug got themselves booted off YouTube. Are you serious? I really did not know that. I knew that Jim got kicked off. I had heard, I believe, that Salty, but Doug as well. It's about damn time. What did Doug get kicked off of YouTube for? Please, anyone, just give me some cliff notes. What absurd thing did he do this time? Hi, Andrew. Good to see you. I've missed you as well. You know what? It's a good thing, Carrie. It really is. I've been saying this for a long time. The men of true crime are the most dramatic, drama-filled people. You would think it would be women naturally, right? Which, I mean, Bullhorn Betty and Queen Bee aren't really doing us a lot of justice here. But the men on YouTube, I was just astounded at the level of pettiness, a bunch of petty teddies, and drama that went on with them. And I was thinking, like, do you guys, What is wrong with you guys? Do you have secret vaginas we don't know about? Do you put your vagina on and get on YouTube and act like a queen? Do you take it back off, put it in your closet when you're done? Like, what is going on with you guys? I really didn't know. So he got mass reported. Doug, lead with love. Well, you won't find sympathy from me for that one. Mr. X lost his channel. I like Mr. X. I really did. I actually like Mr. X. Hate me for that. But I will show some empathy for Mr. X. Alley Cat, miss you, Andrew. So much drama in these YouTube screets. Girl, gossip girls. Yes, we're supposed to be talking about Mormonism, but quite frankly, you know what? I just had an epiphany. Allie, you'll appreciate my epiphany here. We could just cover each other's true crime, the creators, and you would never run out of content. Literally ever. I mean, Burnt Toast is going to make some money off of Betty and Queen Bee's court shit. That's definitely going to happen. No matter how many times Burnt Toast says, I have a job. Well, I don't know that you have a job. I've never seen you on camera. I have no idea what you look like, who you are. I have no idea about if you have a job or not. But she always says that. I have a job. This is just my side gig. Okay. But to act like that you don't make money, that your entire content is literally other creators, and to pretend like you don't make money off that or act like you're somehow above these people, I kind of think you're lower because your content is them. It's not even your own content. It's literally these people. You are making money off of them. I mean, it's akin to being, because I think Burnt Toast calls it reviewing. She's reviewing your content. I, on the other hand, am just going to keep it real. You are a professional hater, honestly. That's what you are. You are getting paid to hate, because that's all those channels are just literal hate channels. Whatever comes out of Bullhorn Betty's mouth is nitpicked, dissected, and ultimately just deemed as wrong. Again, I am not defending Bullhorn Betty. I am not friends with her. I'm not affiliated with her. I'm not subscribed to her. Have I watched her before? Yes. Yep. I'm familiar with Betty. I'm familiar with her content. I am familiar with what she does. What I don't agree with is if all of my content was Betty and talking about how bad of a person Betty is, what does that say about me? Just what does that say about me? That I don't have anything better on YouTube to cover, because there's a million fascinating subjects in this world. But I'm covering Bullhorn Betty, a person that I hate, a person I claim to not like. Why would you spend an ounce of time covering this person? There's only one answer to that question. It's this. It's money. That's the only answer. Because if there was no money involved, I promise you that channel would not cover her. There's no reason to. So, what was Andrew saying? Because Allie is Ellie, I've been away from all YouTube drama. It's been great. I'm happy for you, Andrew. Me too. I'm catching up through my live chat like I usually do. I had no idea Doug was banned. That's hilarious to me. Is he banned for good? Did him and tattoo woman, did they ever get together or no? Like, what? Like, is he perma banned? What was her name? The one that got the psycho one that got Doug's stuff tattooed on her like permanently for life. What was her name? Crime something. I don't remember her channel name, but has she taken over as Doug like on her channel now or something? How's that working out? Wow, Allie. Lee Would Love has a confession. I will confess I watched the intro to Heels now. And then because I love her song in the Kitty Cat. Teach her own. No judgment here, Lee Would Love. Again, I'll never tell you what channels to watch or not watch. Just not my business. I just say what my opinion is. Yeah. Allie, clipping them, editing, watching, and rewatching someone you dislike. Oh, I know, right? Right. It just does this make sense? People that I don't like, I stay away from them. I don't interact with them. I don't watch them. Like Doug. Once Doug did his revenge porn, I didn't watch Doug. I don't watch Doug. I don't care what Doug's doing. He should have been kicked off when he plastered women's breasts and vagina openly with no censor all over YouTube. In my opinion, he should have been perma-banned from that point on. He wasn't, but I did not watch him. Unsubscribed, done. It was just absolutely horrendous what he did. Crime and Justice. Yes, Lulu. Has she taken over? She has the personality of wallpaper. Hate me. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. She just has the personality of wallpaper. So anyway, Lee Would Love. I turn it off when the song is over. Okay, that is making me laugh. But Doug is on Kick platform. Last I heard. Oh, okay. Well, good for him. You know, his ban was a long time coming. A long time coming. And I'm not sad to hear about it. But teach her own. If you love Doug, love Doug. I'm not going to hate you for it. Lulu, I only watched Doug when Candace Dillon's mom was on his panel. Do you know what? That literally pained my heart. It pained me. Because of all the bullshit that Doug said and did with the Dylan Rounds case, which I could not watch it because I was talking to these people behind the scenes that actually knew what the hell was going on, and the crap that he was putting out was just insanity, and I could not watch it. And when I seen that Candace gave in and went on his channel, I will be very honest with you guys. I lost a lot of respect that day. I'm not going to put her down. She has ultimately lost her child. I just don't understand that decision. If you had put my child down, my family down, all of that, you couldn't pay me enough to come on your channel. And for some reason, she did. And I just thought that was, I don't know if she was just completely desperate, because there's plenty of other channels she could have went on. I really don't know what made her do that. It just, if she thought maybe that this was going to get Dylan's story out there more or something, I really don't know. Ultimately, all it did was line Doug's pockets. The same guy that shit all over your family and your son. And I just thought that was a really terrible decision, and I just did not watch it. So that's that. But Lee Would Love. Me too. It hurt my heart. Why? But did you ever trust her? Candace, I think it's really bad form to attack the family of a missing person. I just feel like it's inappropriate if you're going to do this publicly. My private feelings are my private feelings. Hey, love, how are you, Jay Marie? I was just asking Care about you. I was like, is Jay Marie still on? Is she still around? How are you? How have you been? Because I haven't seen you in so long. And I seen Carrie, and I instantly thought of you. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad to have you in here. But yeah, my private feelings on Candace, well, I really think they should remain private. But if you want to know what direction I'm going in, I'm gonna say that me and her are probably very different kinds of mothers, and I'll just leave that there. That's where I would like to leave that. Lulu, his channel was one of the worst with gossip. Yes, Lulu, it was. Yes, it's good to see you. Hey, what Purple Haze? What the hell was her name? Purple Knights. Purple Knights. Is she still on here? I told Jay to get her booty in here. It was a rhetorical question. Okay. Well, I'm glad she got her booty up in here. But is the purple? Why do I want to keep calling her Purple Haze? Is she still around? Is she? Is her channel doing okay? Like how's that going? I think the last thing I saw from her was filming Brandy, Michael Vaughn's mother, his reaction to something, and then somehow she became a hero. But I looked at that like, why in the world would you bring her on a live stream and tell her this? Like, that was just really insane to me. If I'm her friend, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to shut the live stream down. I'm going to call her on the phone and say, I need you to know that this is being said on YouTube. But to get her live reaction to it, I thought was just really low. Really, really low. I did not like that. I just thought, you're not a friend. A real friend would not do that. Perplexed? No, not perplexed. QT Lee would love. I'm talking about, her name was Purple Knights. I think it was Purple Knights. And then I think she changed it to something else, but I don't know. I can't remember like what it is now. Oh, it's Purple Phoenix. Okay, yeah. I think that is it. Allie, hey J. Marie, I remember you from Ziggy's during the Summer Wells case. You always were so kind and diplomatic, patient, which probably wasn't easy. Huh, good to see you. Uh, yeah, J. Marie is, I've always liked J. Marie because you just described her perfectly. Just non-dramatic, watches from afar, takes some stuff in, knows right from wrong. And, I've always gotten from her that she picks the path of right, as opposed to picking the path of views. And often that costs YouTube creators. It does. When we pick the right path and do the right thing, it costs us because we're not doing the dramas, and people love the dramas. Carrie is saying, I mean, J. Marie is okay, I guess. Just so you guys know, Carrie and J. Marie are like best friends, so they are just BSing with each other. Yeah. I'll be right back. Give me a sec. Just a seckie. Care or J. Marie. Allie, of course we like the same peeps. Jess, of course we do. Al, that's why we like each other, and we like the same kind of people. Do you guys have anything, Allie? Any of you guys versed in Mormonism? Anything of that nature? I know. That's really weird, Allie. We never met. I've been to Summer Wells's location. Well, not her location, but I've been down there to Tennessee twice now. Most recently, I think it was early August. It was nighttime. I was passing through Tennessee, so I was like, I might as well stop. And I went to the watering hole. Aubrey said some really off the wall things. I don't know who put the stone. Somebody put the stone that said Summer's name. It's right by the tree at Warrior's Path, and I loved it. I thought that was a really kind gesture. Lulu, the most drama we had on your channel was when you let Jim call in. Yeah, basically. Where is Jim? I haven't heard from Jim in a while. I haven't heard from Jim in, I think it's the beginning of the summer. What is he up to? Anyone know? Is he just completely off YouTube at this point? Oh, and does anyone know if Black Dove passed away? Do you guys know if that's true or not? J. Marie, I have to get my daughter to school. Oh, it's nice to see you too, hon. Do you usually go live in the morning? You know me, J. Marie. I go live when I feel like it. So I'm gonna have to get off here soon. I gotta go get Obs up and get her to school by 7:30. So it's 7:06 here now. I'll give her about 4 more minutes to 7:10. I have her clothes laid out and all that, so it doesn't take her long to get ready, brush her teeth, and off to school. But Allie could have been Gonzo. He does stuff like that. The real Gonzo. Okay. Yes, Bill. Keep an eye out for me. You too, hon. I'll see you, Jay. Lulu, to my understanding, that was due to Jim. He was joking that Dave had contracted monkeypox, and it was taken seriously by others. Okay, so Black Dove is still alive, basically. That's good to know. I got worried when Taylina texted me, and I was like, what? Did he die and I didn't know about this? Like, what the hell? But no, I don't think so. So good to know. Anyway, I thought I would just get on here and say what's up to you guys. I am going to get off. I do have to go get the daughter up. But please watch out for my video. I really don't know when I'm going to be done with it because editing is editing. And I really want it to be decent. I want it to be like my best work, So I've been doing a lot of researching, and I have the beginning of it put together, and I actually really like it. But I kind of keep going back and tweaking things because I kind of want it to be perfect about the Kingston group. And what I ultimately want to do, and I think I said in the beginning of this live stream, I want to cover the Kingston clan. I want to cover the FLDS. And ultimately, I want to just cover the LDS church, the main church. But I want to kind of do like a series almost where, we become familiar with the Kingston clan. We become more familiar with the FLDS. And then ultimately, we're going to talk about Mormonism all the way around. Who the F knows with Jim? I know, right? Hope to see you more. I will be on more. I promise you guys, I will definitely be on more. I might bring in my readings. Just so you guys know, I think this is a little exciting news before I go. There is a psychic fair that's going to be held here. And just so you guys know, freaking pray for me, okay? Because I'm in the Bible Belt. I'm in the Bible Belt. So, my little witchy ways aren't, exactly looked at in the greatest aspect here. I'm used to Delaware where people don't give a shit. Here, people kind of give a shit. But ironically, they are having a second annual psychic fair here. And they were like, if you want us to get you a table, we can get you a table. You can read cards. And I've thought about it for extra money because today, I have never charged anybody for a reading. friends, family, online. I've just never done it. And I'm so apprehensive about saying, yes, give me a table and charging people for money. I don't know why. It makes me nervous. But I might. I might do it. But yeah, that's coming up, and I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's on October 7th or something like that. I might film out there. I mean, I might go out there. I might, I'm definitely going to get my own cards read. And I might just film that. You guys might get to see what the hell's in store for me, because God only knows 23 has been an absolute disaster for the most part. Oh, Carrie, it was so good to hear your voice. Have a good day. You too, hon. You too, Care. Did Mike King from Profiling Evil cover them? Uh, I I don't know, Allie, if he covered the cults. I'm gonna assume that he did, because that is where I think that's where his expertise lies, is in cults. So I do think it was very telling that Mike King would not cover the Vallow case, even though he was literally like kind of right there. And I firmly believe that it's because he's Mormon and he didn't want to cover that. So, and that's kind of, you just got to kind of side eye that a little bit, like, But Blue and Gold, hi, love. How are you? It's so good to see all of you guys. I'm so happy. Because he is a Mormon. Exactly, Lee would love. He is a Mormon. So, a little sketchy. I like Mike King, though. I'm not going to sit here and besmirch him. I do like him. But it's that mentality. You know what I mean? You can't just cover up for your church because you're a part of it. If things are going wrong and you're a true policeman or you're a true upholder of the law, regardless of religion, you are going to do what's right or wrong. You know what I mean? So, but it's up to him what kind of content he puts out and what he feels comfortable with. I just thought that was extremely odd. Didn't really like that too much, because I really thought that he could give a lot of insight, a ton of it, because they were definitely in a cult. And with his Mormon background, I do think he could have turned it into something positive for his channel and not so much attacking the Mormon church, but more giving the insight into what Mormonism believes, and then where Chad and Lori went off the rails from their mainstream beliefs. I feel like he could have did a lot with that case, and I feel like it's a little unfortunate that he chose to miss that opportunity in the name of religion. Because I think I'm assuming, but I just think he looked at it like, I don't want to attack my religion and make us look crazy and all this kind of thing. So I'm just not going to cover it. Instead of thinking outside the box of, I'm kind of the perfect person to cover this because I am a Mormon, I know our beliefs, and I'm an expert in cults. I just think he could have turned that into something really good. Lee would love. He could not expose what his church believes. Right. Right. And that's what it ultimately comes down to. I've gotten in arguments with people on YouTube, like in the comment sections, Mormons, really, because I'm like, look, this is what they believe and blah, blah, blah. And I've had so many Mormons say, that is not what we believe, and we don't do that. I'm like, really? That's not what you believe? So you don't believe in becoming exalted? You don't believe in this? You don't believe in that? And they're like, well, yeah, we believe in that. Okay. Do you guys believe in visions and things? Yes. Okay. I mean, you're telling me that everything I'm saying is wrong, but then they'll turn right back around and be like, well, yeah, we do believe in that. Well, yeah, we do believe in that. And I'm like, okay, Callie, not to excuse him, because I totally get what you're saying, but maybe he'd be too biased. Total possibility, Al. Total possibility. To me, I just felt like it was a very missed opportunity. If you looked at it through a certain lens and covered it through a certain lens, I think he really could have been very helpful in that case. But, again, to each their own. I think Mike makes great content on whatever he does. I don't watch him a whole lot. But yeah. Oh my God. This is completely off topic from Mormonism. Just so you guys know, I've taken up a new interest. And this is not anything to do with true crime. Well, maybe. Because it's kind of a weird crime, I feel like. But I have a new goal in my life. You guys are going to laugh, probably. I want to hike to the base camp of Mount Everest. That is what I want to do. I'm almost obsessed with this idea. I've been so into Everest, the climbers. I've been watching a ton of content on this. I think mountaineering is insane. It's not something that I don't want to climb. Mount Everest, I will die. Literally, I'll be up on the mountain, dead. But oh, you're out, Allie. But I feel like hiking up to the base camp, where you get to experience the Nepalese people, and all their hard work that they do. These people are just the salt of the earth people, in my opinion. Experiencing their food, you got to give them props. They have built villages on the side of a freaking mountain that's 17,000 feet above sea level. I mean, good God, you know what I mean? So I have a tremendous amount of respect and stuff, and I would just love to experience that culture. So what I'm going to do is, in the spirit of Bullhorn Betty, I can't afford this. So I'm going to start a fundraiser. And, if you guys want me to go to, to the base of Mount Everest and cover the crime of Westerners, go ahead and donate. I feel like this is something Bullhorn Betty would do. The Westerners they're robbing these people blind. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do some investigating journalism, but I don't have the money to go. So I need you guys to all donate so I can get there. Allie, please Sherpa me. Please Sherpa me. Listen, I actually looked it up. For $1,300, okay? And yes, you know me, I would document every damn freaking. My original idea was, because I love the river that's coming down from Mount Everest. So my love of kayaking. I wanted to kayak just a small part of that river, because there's a shit ton of rocks. But just to be able to kayak in glacier water, holy Christ, that would be like a life bucket list crazy dream for me. So that was my original thought. But then I watched quite a bit of content on the water there. I personally don't believe that my skills are to that level. So I really wouldn't want to put my own life in danger, or anybody that's with me. So I wouldn't do that. But hiking up to base camp, I feel like would be an amazing experience, just to see the mountains with my own two eyes and look up there. And it's just, it's beauty. It's such beauty. You can't find the words to describe the beauty of those mountains and just the culture. I would love to give a lot of respect. But Allie, if you want to Sherpa me, please Sherpa me up to base camp. Please. The Sherpas are namaste. Okay? That's all we're going to say. If you know about the Sherpas, you know about the Sherpas. Give these people respect. Lulu, I heard it's crowded and polluted. Too many people and too much litter. Yes. That seems to be a very big problem. Is that these expedition companies are letting people with zero mountaineering experience, they're letting them pay for it. and it's a shit ton of money if you want to climb Everest. But essentially, what's going to happen is you have no mountaineering experience and you want to climb the highest peak on the planet. Sherpas are going to drag your ass up to the top and hope that you don't die on the descent. And if you do, you're going to be left the hell up there. But yes, there's so many people. They're giving so many permits now that there's, how do I explain this? When you're going up the damn mountain, you only have so much bottles of oxygen. Well, if there's 100 people in the line, you're just stuck there. You're just standing there. Your oxygen's running out. So by the time you get to the peak, you're only halfway there. You got to get down. Most people die on the way down. You don't have enough energy. You don't have enough oxygen because you done wasted it all standing in a freaking line on Mount Everest. I mean, to me, I get it with the Nepalese government. That's how they make their money, is through tourism. My personal belief is if you're stupid enough that you want to do that, then do it. And to the real mountaineering people, I'm sorry. But if you see that Everest has turned into this, there are so many other extraordinary mountains to climb. I would go there. I wouldn't even bother. Honestly, I wouldn't even bother with it. But I would just like to experience the people, the culture. Hiking up to base camp, I think, would be absolutely amazing. And I looked into this expedition company. $1,300. $1,300 gets you a Sherpa. It pays for your meals going up to base camp. It pays for your little hotel stays. So $1,300, well worth it. Well worth it for a lifetime experience like that. If I had the money, I would 100% be there probably. Well, not right now because the season's over, but I would be there. And I just think it's incredible. But Allie, let's get all Beatles and Buddhists on this docudrama reality tube show. I know. Allie, can you please picture me at the base camp of Everest? Please, just for 2 seconds. Okay. Picture me hiking up. A lot of complaining. I'm going to do a lot of complaining on the way up. My neck, my back, my knees, everything's hurting. I can just hear myself now. But then I'm going to get to this magical village just built into the side of a mountain. Oh my God, you guys, look at this scene. Look how beautiful, look how wonderful this is. I'd be dramatic with it. But either way, I want this experience so badly. I want to go across the suspension bridges. It's a dream. It has become a real dream for me, just like whitewater rafting was a dream for me and I made it a reality. I would like to make this a reality as well someday. I don't want to be too old because, I don't want to die going up to base camp. That would be crazy embarrassing. But I want to do this. It is so on the bucket list, big time. Anyway, I am getting off. Holy shit, it's 7:23. Bad mothering. Now I got 7 minutes to get Aubrey up. She's going to be pissed off. She's definitely going to fight with me. Okay, I will see you lovely people later. Love to you all. Please look out for my video. Allie, if I inbox you about the Mormonism stuff, you want to chat about it later today? Because there are some things about the Kingston group. I don't know. I don't know if you're probably well versed. You're kind of like me and know a little bit of everything, but I want to talk to you about it. Leave with love. Do you have Audible? If you do, I'll send you the book K2. I'm obsessed with the Savage Mountain. Leave with love. I do not have Audible though, and I've really been thinking about getting it. But yes, Allie, please. But K2 is fascinating to me. Lee would love. Again, K2 is called the Savage Mountain. I personally think that K2 is way more dangerous than Everest. Not to take away from Everest, because it's pretty damn dangerous. It's claimed a lot of bodies. But K2, you're on a different type of time. You too, love. Colleen, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to my rantings. Blue and gold, I love all you guys. I will see you all later. I might go live later today. I'm not sure. We might just need to chat, catch up some more with some stuff. I've enjoyed this. So I hope you guys have too. Colleen, please have a great day. I will see you guys all. Oh, Lee would love. And thank you for becoming a member. You are a true blue loyalty person. Unlike Allie, who's no longer a member. Psych, I'm kidding. Or blue. I don't blame you guys. I have not been live in a long time. So, but I'm just letting you know that I am back. Guess who's back? Back again. Jess is back with Crime Time and mountaineering, mountaineering, mountaineering. Okay, sorry. I'm going to stop freestyling. I love you guys. Bye.